So what I'm talking about today is actually the first impression that you are going to be giving an audience of any size if you're going to be speaking. So, and I know that some of you speak for a cause, you speak for your business. Some of you maybe don't, maybe you're afraid to speak. I'd love to know that. Message me or put in the comments what it is about it that keeps you from speaking out, because believe me, if I can do it, you can do it. You're looking at a girl that would not even talk to strangers or make eye contact or speak up for myself. And now I've spoken on international stages and in front of, several thousands of people at one time on major stages, and got to share that space with some really amazing speakers. And I enjoyed it. I actually had fun doing it. So that's something I could not possibly understand all those years ago. So whether you're an introvert or you're shy or you think that you're not the speaker type, if there's something in your heart that you want to get out, if there's a message, you are perfectly capable of doing that. So I want to encourage you to, share what your inhibitions are. And it's interesting. This is the way that you can support yourself when you are getting up there on stage. And when you're getting started, what are the two scariest things about when you first start speaking? What are the two, or maybe if you've been speaking for a while, the two scariest moments on stage are when you first start speaking and when you're closing up. That's what it is to me, because if you feel good about those two things, you're going to feel pretty confident, especially if those first 7 seconds in your mind, you know what you're going to accomplish. Well, set yourself up for success and do an introduction that is going to be quality, is going to set up your audience for good rapport, because the objective of speaking, for some people it might be to be in the spotlight and be seen. But I'm going to tell you right now that those people are probably not in this community. I'm thinking that the people that speak because they want to hear their own voice are just not going to be attracted to me. That's not my people. So the people that are in this group that want to speak about their business are people that have it in their heart to make a difference. So your goal for getting in front of 2 people or 2,000 is to change their life for the better, to offer something to them, whether it's information or an opportunity or a product. You're offering something that is going to change their life. In order for people to hear you and get that message, you have to be in good rapport. They have to be available to receive and be able to retain the information. So even if you're a corporate trainer, same thing. You are giving them something that is going to benefit them. They have to be open to receive that. So the way to set yourself up for success is to have an introduction that you, by the way, carry 3 copies of at all times in at least 14 size fonts, because you want people that may need glasses to be able to read it. You don't want them to have any struggles with it, which brings us to the first of the 5 elements. So the first of the 5 elements is make sure it is easy to read, literally with a large font, but I also want you to test it. Read it out loud and make sure it flows off of your tongue. You're talking to a girl that did soap operas that were written up by amazing writers, but they had to write really fast. And I can take bad copy and make it good, okay? But I have been handed some introductions that are just so hard to get out of my mouth. They stumble. They're not written to be read out loud. Most of the time, people will hand me, and this is the biggest fault that I see, the most common thing, they'll hand me a bio from LinkedIn, or they'll hand me the bio from their website, the About Me page. What is different about those things than what you need as an introduction is those are written to be read. Very different than written to be said. So read it yourself. Make sure that those words flow together. If there are words that you don't use, that are phrases that are not coming out of your mouth naturally, then change them. It's okay to really simplify some of this stuff. You don't need it to be really confusing and wordy, and that's not going to make it sound intelligent. That's just going to make people zone out. So make it really simple. It's the first time that they're hearing about you, possibly, other than a bio that they might have read in a pamphlet that tells them what the day is going to be about or who the speaker is. So make sure that you make it really easy to read. That helps the person that is introducing you. And part of that, I'll say this in this phrase too, part of that, helping them find ease in introducing you. And I want you to put yourself in a situation where you've seen this, because I know everybody here has seen this, right? Where somebody is introducing someone and they are tripping over the introduction. They're stumbling. And then what do you find yourself doing inside? If somebody's stumbling in front of a group trying to speak or read something, what do? You get a little tight inside. You're wishing for them to get through it. You're hoping that they're going to pull it out. You are not in the state of mind that I, as a speaker, would want you to be. I want that person introducing me to be able to have it flow, to have them feel really good, like they're doing great. Right? Because if you set them up for success, number one, they're going to want you to come back right there, and they're going to feel good. The audience is going to be comfortable, and they're going to be anxiously open-hearted and waiting for you. They're not going to be clutching, hoping that somebody gets through the copy that you handed them, which is your introduction. So make it really easy to read. Second, there's 5 of these. Second one, short. Keep it short. This is tough because our history, our work is our baby, right? We want people to know all about us, but what they want is something that is going to benefit them. You telling them your history and all of your accolades and your awards is not going to make a difference for their life. It may be impressive, and you might want to put a few of those things in there if it really is relevant to that audience, but that's what your bio is for when it's shared whenever you're announced as a speaker, or it's in the papers or the booklet that you get if you go to a conference. It should be there. So you don't necessarily have to have everything in there. The longer it is, the more people will zone out, the harder it is for the person introducing to read, and the more it seems like this is awful, but I'm gonna say it, the more it seems like you're trying to prove something. If I'm introducing Richard Branson, does he need an introduction? Oprah, do they need an introduction? No, but we know about them. I get it. They're more than household names. I get it. But assume that when you get up there, the content that you deliver, even if you feel like there's things they should know, if you deliver your content well, the first thing they're gonna do, even while you're up there on stage, is they're gonna Google you. You've done it. Somebody has impressed you, you're like, man, this person's really good. Let me check them out. You take out your phone and you Google them and you find out about them. Make them want to know more about you. Don't force feed them information about you. They're not going to remember it anyway. So keep it short so that people stay engaged. 3, well, I kind of just said this, the same thing. It's not a history of excessive credentials. It's not. Your bio is what serves that purpose. Sorry, I blended 2 and 3 together. So it should be easy to read, keep it short. It's not a history or excessive credentials. If, like I said, if there's something that you're super proud of, say you're an Academy Award winner, an Emmy Award winner, or a Peabody Award winner, something exceptional like that, oh my gosh, yes, for sure. Put that in there. That's amazing. Best-selling author. That's fine, 4, be entertaining. Now, I'm not saying that it has to be outside of your own voice. It doesn't have to be over the top, because you are giving it to somebody that maybe isn't a professional speaker that's going to be introducing you. So you want to keep it simple, but you want it to be full of its own voice. So not stale, okay? This kind of relates back to number 1, helping the person introduce you with some style. You want it to have a nice flow. You can put some fun things in there. Like in my bio that I rewrite mine all the time. My bio, in my intro, since we're talking about my intro, I just added that I am married to, I forget how I put it, basically said married to a renowned Hollywood stuntman. And then I put in parentheses, never a dull moment, and it kind of feeds in with what my life is like. And inevitably it kind of makes the person introducing me smile, and it makes people in the audience smile, just that little thing. That has a flavor of its own, and it puts them in a state of mind, again, that I want them to be. The 5th thing is set up your opening. So when I say be entertaining, what I put in mind, like, hey, never a dull moment, feeds directly into the opening of my talk. So when I'm working with people on their intro, we already have their talk down most times. And so I know what anecdote, what story they're starting with. I know if they are going to start with a question. Those are the 2 best ways, I think, for you to start a presentation, by the way. It gets people engaged. Literally, the sound of a question will wake the neurology up in the audience. They'll be like, wait, what? When something goes up like that, it perks our attention, which is, it's just what we do as humans. We're slightly more engaged. So questions are good. Stories, I think, are the best way to do it, but they have to be very well thought out stories. They have to be pertinent. They have to be emotional in order to get people engaged. But that said, if you're starting with either one, you want your introduction to lead directly into that. So mine leads directly into my opening story. So let's see if yours, think about how you are introduced, right? Is it easy to read? There's the top 5 things about your intro that you should be aware of. If you're handing over something for someone to read for you and say, okay, here you go, this is my intro, and you're waiting in the sidelines to walk up on the stage or in front of everybody, make sure that it has these 5 elements. It should be easy to read, so it's not copied from your website. It's not copied from LinkedIn. That's a whole nother topic. And I help people with that too. But it should be short. Too long loses people. And it starts to just kind of become muddled in their head anyway. 3, not a history and not all of your credentials. They don't need to know all of that. Again, they're not going to remember it anyway. 4, be entertaining. Make sure that it has its own voice. You can throw in some lightheartedness, even if it's a corporate environment. In fact, especially if it's a corporate environment. Oh, for the love of heaven, they're just people. Why do we have to take all the fun out of corporate, right? Give them a little something to smile at, and they're going to be so appreciative. Set up your opening. So set yourself up in the way your bio is read. Set yourself up for your first thing. The first things out of your mouth should tie in with what that person just introduced you with. So there's also the option, I should just throw this out, there's also the option, since I do teach people how to be on video, of having a video opening. There's some benefits to that. Maybe we'll do a Facebook Live on that at some point. But I hope this is helpful. And something else I wanted to offer you guys too, and I haven't done this actually just by itself before. I've only done intros for my private clients, but I was just talking to a fellow executive coach, and she said, you really seem to like this, because I wrote one for my husband as well while she was sitting there like in a few minutes. I'm like, yeah, this is really fun for me. I like the idea of helping people be more effective speakers and setting them up for success within the first few seconds. So I am going to be writing intros. So if you are a speaker and you want to talk about this, I've made it very affordable. It does require some time from you. It's not just all me. So it's under $500, and it's something that you can use hopefully universally. You get 60 days of revisions. So 60 days of revisions, that's 2 months, that if something doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel like it's working, come back to me. Or if you need something tweaked for a different occasion, you can take advantage of that, and we'll tweak a couple of things to make it fit a different audience. But I want you to know that I'll have to sit down with you and interview you. So I'm going to be asking a lot of questions of you, what you want to accomplish, where your heart is, what is the audience that you're most often in front of. It's more than just sitting down and writing something pretty from a bio that you already have. I really want to make this work. So it takes a little time, but that's one of the things that I get super excited about, is to be able to take that time and come up with something that's going to really benefit you and make you shine. So if that sounds like something that you want to do, you guys know I'm available for you. You know how to reach out to me. This is not something, by the way, that's on my website. It's not listed there. So if you want to know more, there's no obligation at all if you reach out to me. I can just give you the details of what it would take in order to make that happen. If you've already worked with me as a speaker or as a client, then I probably know a little bit more about you. But even if you've never worked with me, either or, I'm going to have to do the interview. We'll sit down and I like to do the interview, sit down and get really clear on that. So please, 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 even if you choose to redo your own intro, make sure you have those 5 elements and you set yourself up for success, because whatever is in your heart to get out there needs to get out there. And I know for me, speaking is the number one way by far that I bring business in. The number one way. If I don't speak, I see a huge drop in my influence in the community, and I see even today, I was telling you that I haven't been on Facebook Live. This, in a way, is speaking. It's getting face to face. If I'm not in front of people, I see a direct correlation to my business. So if your speaking is even at a BNI or a networking event, that's fine. Do more of it. I want to encourage you to do more of it and make sure that you set yourself up for success. So if you have any questions, or if you want to run the intro that you currently have by me, that's fine. I'll put in the link below my Calendly link. So if you do have something you want to run by me, that's totally cool. We can do a 15-minute call and I'll review it for you and see if it's working, if it has all those elements, or if there's something that might be able to be tweaked to make it better. And if you want nothing to do with it and want to just have somebody write something that's awesome, then, do the same thing. Just reach out to me, sign up for a call on the Calendly link. I'll put it down below. Since Facebook, by the way, doesn't like you to put outside links in your post, just FYI. So putting outside links in your comments is always a better way to go. So hope that was helpful. If you know somebody that's a speaker that this would be a good wake-up call to, please share this. I would love for you to share this information so that we can get people out there really sharing what is in their heart and getting the most of the time that they are in front of other people. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad to see so many faces. I know I was a bit quiet this week, so I was worried that nobody would get the notification. So I'm glad you're here. Sean, Sweetness Angel, Evelyn, Robin, Tony, Christine, Patty, Karen, Rick. I think I got everybody. Thank you guys. Make it an awesome, blessed day. And I will see you guys really soon.